12 was a loaded year. It was a heavy year for me. It's when I left public school, I had been bullied, actually. There was a petition for me to hurt myself, take my own life. And people passed it around the school and signed it. I left public school because of that. I developed an eating disorder. Then I was really lonely and I didn't have any friends really. But I found this girl that I used to be friends with in elementary school, and she got me into a lot of trouble. Like she was like, do you have any, I was like, how do you have so many older friends? And she was like, well, do you party? And I was like, what does that mean? She was like, do you drink? And I was like, no. She was like, oh, well, that's how I have so many older friends. And I wanted to be like her with all these friends, you know, because I had just been bullied and had nobody. I felt so isolated. Yeah. So I started getting into substances at 12. So had been in a car accident right before I turned 13 where I was prescribed Vicodin and was taking that without my mom knowing. And she kind of came upstairs one day and was like, where did half of this bottle go? And I was like, well, I've just been taking it when I need it. And she's like, you're already halfway through this bottle. Like, you can't keep, like, I'm taking this. This is no longer yours. Yeah. And so, yeah, she took it away from me. And that was the first time that I felt like anything other than alcohol. And I loved it. That was kind of like the year that everything in my life changed. So I would do my schoolwork in the mornings, and then I would spend the rest of the afternoon working on music. I wanted to be so famous that the bullies that bullied me in school, they couldn't escape me. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. And I worked on my craft during that time, but you know, on the weekends on the weekends I would party with my old friend. Yeah. Yeah. And I started getting into trouble. I was singing all the time at my house, and then I started taking lessons. I had booked Barney and started singing on there, and acting at the same time. But I knew from a very young age that I wanted to do this and be on stage. But I think when I knew it was a profession was when I booked Barney, and I started getting those checks in the mail and was like, oh wow, this is not just playtime anymore. This is like an actual job. I think that it can serve the child to a certain degree if it's something that they love doing. Like I